Hey guys, Artie back here. Gonna talk about some of my favorite comic books I've been reading lately to give you kind of an insight of what I've been reading and some of my favorites that I picked up so I can tell you guys about it. So let's just get into it. First one I got, All New X-Men. All New X-Men is about we go to the beginning of the X-Men and Beast finds out that there's gonna be a problem in the future. Pretty much the original X-Men, the four original X-Men get brought to the present and they interact with their selves from the future. It's really fucked up. So Jean Grey, Angel, Beast, uh, Cyclops, young Cyclops, they're all young, and the Ice. What's his fucking name? He's really witty, the Ice guy. All new X-Men, young Cyclops shows up to the present with Jean Grey, young as hell, and this is before she goes crazy. So Beast brings him back because Cyclops kills Professor X, but he brings some young self to prevent that from happening. And you get to see a whole bunch of crazy stuff unfold. Recommend this if you like time travel, and you get to see Iwat Watu show up in front of Beast and say, "I hate you." You have to read it. I highly recommend it. Time travel, young X-Men interacting with their older X-Men counterparts. It's very interesting. I highly recommend picking up this book. Another book I recommend that just started. It's on issue 2. This is issue 1 right here. Uncanny Avengers. Has to do with. This is what happens when the Marvel Universe is so powerful it rewrites everything. Right now in the Uncanny Avengers, it takes place with. It mostly focuses with the Uncanny Avengers with Vision, Scarlet Witch, doesn't matter. The whole focus is Scarlet Witch and fucking Quicksilver. Quicksilver in this book and Magneto, they're not related anymore. They're not the father just because they don't own the rights to him. They're phasing out all of X-Men continuity. They're gonna be on their own planet now after Secret Wars probably, and with the Uncanny, they're rewriting it so it can fit into the Marvel universe. So how this is gonna fit into the Marvel universe, you find out in issue 2 after you read Uncanny, the introduction. They're foreshadowing for the second issue, which if you picked it up already. Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch are not the only siblings they have. They find out they have another sister. How big the cinematic universe is getting, that it's separating continuity that you thought you don't even need to know anymore, that this is going to be the new continuity. So I would rather start learning the new continuity now and keeping up with it so I can see where it goes, because right now it's pretty interesting. I want to know why they have another sister and who their other father is and stuff like that. So I would definitely recommend picking up Uncanny Avengers. Okay, another Image book is Black Science. Black Science is awesome. It's on issue 12. This is issue number 1, third printing. I couldn't find number 1. I found out about it when it was like on issue 4 or something like that, and I bought them all up and to get caught up with it. Science is focused on a husband and wife with 2 children who jump in time for a company, and their business execs go with him and shit goes wrong, and they time travel to crazy places. Each issue's in a different dimension, different world, because they can leap through anything. This one just came out, Chrononauts. This is an issue 1. I really want to know where it goes next. It's pretty intense. Corbin Quinn and Danny Riley are about to become the world's first time travelers, and the whole world is watching. But while the public sees them as professional heroes, the shadows of their personal lives loom large. And what happens if there's a problem? From the writer of Kingsman, The Secret Service, and the artist of punk rock Jesus, this is a story of a man's first televised steps through the time stream and everything going wrong in the process. This is an intense book. It starts off with these guys like being cocky because they know it's gonna be fucking. They're gonna be famous as shit, and they're not. They're told not to touch anything and all this stuff. They're both cocky. You're gonna go through the time stream, and one of them goes in first, and the waves of time hit him so hard it gets kicked off course. And as he's falling, you get to see these events of time getting broadcast through television. It's getting all televised, so it's all getting, it's live, and he lands in a different time zone. So his best friend or has to go in there with him, and he's like, I'm not gonna leave him behind. They're like, no, you can fuck up time. And they're like, where did he go? And it's like 1504 or something like that. So he lands in 1504. The last panel is him getting shot in the leg with an arrow, and he's Indians or something like that. It's gonna be crazy. So I can't wait to see where this one goes. I would highly recommend picking up Chrononauts. Copperheads, written by Ferber, Ghoul, Whiskey, Riley, Maurer. I'm not making this up. That's what their names are. Familiar. It's just a cop goes into a different town. She has nothing else like to live for. She just has her kid to live for, and she's just going to town to get work in this dystopian future where he works with this fucking thing. About a woman who becomes a sheriff in a town in this western setting, and it's like a gunslinging place. Murders are happening, and she, at the end of this whole issue, she finds out that there's a murder gone taking place on this family, and she's gonna investigate it. And she's barely getting settled into her new home, and she finds out that her kid is, well, she doesn't find out yet, but in the other issues to come, she finds out her kid got out, and this Indian guy with a gun with the werewolf head on him saved him. So he's kind of like a good guy. You don't know who he is yet or why he even saved the kid. What you do find out, it's in other issues. I recommend this book, Copperhead by Image Comics. It's a really fun book. It's a Divinity. Divinity is a Valiant book. This one has to do with outer space also. I don't know if you get the trend about me and outer space, but I love outer space books. Outer space is about, this is set in kind of art events but taken further. It's like the Russians and the Americans were doing the race to the moon, and the Russians made a divinity project, secret project, to go further and understand the universe, to go bigger, and not just to the moon. They wanted to go further, but it would take like 30 years or something like that, 20 years, really long time for to see if it even could happen, but if they even knew about it. So this is like you're gonna go into outer space. Nobody's gonna know who you are because you know this is a secret mission. And the Americans landed on the moon thinking that they won the race, but the Russians sent a guy into outer space, and it's fucking heavy. It's during the Cold War. Neither the United States nor the Soviet Union were connected to rule the world. Both nations looked to the stars. But while the United States conquered the moon, the Soviets wanted more. They aimed for the very edge of reality itself by sending a rocket into deep space. Abram Adams piloted the mission. Orphaned at a young age, the Soviets believed he had no early ties, making Abram the perfect candidate for the long and dangerous trek into the unknown. And you get to experience the time travel with him. They go into a whole bunch of details and how he would like stay alive for 30 years in outer space, not talking to anybody. And for his knowledge, his communicator stops communicating, but he still vlogs all his information. and at the end of issue 2, he comes back to Earth. He's going because he loves outer space and he wants to understand it just as bad, and he wants to be able to share it with people and let them know. And that goes deep in here because he comes back with like all this knowledge, and when he lands, the project for the Soviet Union is bankrupt and it shuts down. He doesn't even know this, but one of the guys that sent him in there is really old as hell, and he comes down there to witness him because he knew that he was the alien that landed on Earth. He knew that was the Soviet guy, so he goes outside, and the the guy, what's his name, Abram Adams, he looks all like superior now. Points at him and he makes him young, and he makes him young enough to where he wasn't gonna die anymore, just so he can spread the knowledge. Because he gets arrested because he knew about this guy, and he gets into the arms. He's like, I gotta tell you guys about him and why he went. And it's only on issue 2. This, I highly recommend Divinity. Super super good book about science fiction, and it's going the extra mile. Descenders. Descenders has to do with, in the future, this guy invented robots. Present you in the future, and it's like people are walking around and stuff like that, and the one of the main focus of the characters is the Asian guy. I guess he invents these robots that based off his technology, and he wakes up to his robot saying like, wake up, da da da, and he looks out his window and there's fucking huge robots coming down to destroy Earth. And the catch is they're written with his same code. So after Descenders happens, that's the intro. They're like, his planet is like pretty much destroyed. Everybody's dying and stuff like that. They go up to the future now. They fast forward to the future. No, they don't fast forward. The moon, Desert 6, home of the discerning comet. It's 10 years later. Okay. They wake up 10 years later, and you just see this kid wake up. Like, he's the kid, I think he's the kid that's on the cover. Yeah, it's him. Because since this guy woke up, there was a ping that was sent out. And the ping sent out a signal, and they're like, hey, on that planet that was destroyed, one of your robots is awake. And he's like, we got to get there before somebody else gets there, because they're hunting down all his beings too. They said they got to get there before these guys. That's the last panel. It's like a gang. Descenders, last robot to wake up on his planet 10 years later. I don't know why he woke up, but we're gonna find out why people want to catch him. It's only on issue 1. Descenders, pick it up. Another one to recommend that I'm reading is Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes takes place right after, in between the first movie with James Franco, and it leads up to Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. So this is the in between of the first movie and the second movie, and how they get there, and you ride along with the main characters of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes before they actually get to the main movie. And in the main movie, you find out that his wife has passed away because she got sick or whatever. And in this one, you start off with the wife in here when she's like starting to cough and everything like that. And they do a whole bunch of foreshadowing like they do in the movies, like how humans are just like apes. And in this, you get to follow Koba and Caesar, and they find out that they're not alone with like their own tribe, and they find out this other guy. It goes down this crazy path, but it started off really good. It's only 6 issues. There's one more to come out. This is just issue 1. If you like, I liked Rise and I like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. That's why I picked this up, because I wanted to read the in between. And so it's good. I recommend it if you like if you like those kind of movies. And this was the in between. I recommend this. I liked it. Darth Vader. It's on issue 3. This one, that guy at my comic book store was telling me that this one went up in value already because of this lead character. She's gonna be in the episode 7, supposedly. It goes on the internet, and this is the first appearance. So it's like her. She reminded me so much like Star-Lord and like the stereotypical quipping people. She's like macho, but she's a girl, and you get to read 000, and I forgot it was like I forgot what the droid is called. What's the droid called again? T1. Okay. So 000, BT1, and we get to follow our main character that's gonna help Vader make his secret team. This is the whole building blocks for whatever's gonna be like an or. I think like this is a good book if you like Star Wars. I really like Star Wars, obviously. Um, but this one sticks out. If you're not picking up the main continuity of Star Wars, this is a good side one. That's Princess Leia is good. Also, I just didn't pick it because I didn't have a lot of books. I have a lot of books to show, but I would recommend these ones with the heartbeat. Darth Vader, Darth Vader, Darth Vader, man. This book is really good. The artwork's really good. She's a good main character so far. That she just gets introduced right. Well, she's gonna. I can feel that they're gonna keep her around for a while because she's really good. I really liked her in this book. Darth Vader. I would recommend picking this up. Hulk. Who shot Bruce Banner? I went into my comic book store and I asked the guy, "What's a good Hulk story?" Because like I like the guy. I like the Edward Norton movie. I liked him, but I haven't read any good stories. I know about World War Hulk and everything like that, and he told me about this one. It's kind of like you're trying to figure out who shot Bruce Banner, and it leads up. I think it's on issue like 10 or something like that. It's not that far. Um, the Hulk, he becomes superior. The Hulk takes over, so he doesn't die. So you can't find Bruce Banner anymore. Bruce Banner is dead subconsciously. It's all about the Hulk now, and he's smarter. He has like so much knowledge, and he's rampaging more than ever. And I like that he's smarter in this one because he's trying to outwit everybody with his intelligence, and then he just fucks people up. It's a good book, Hulk. Suiciders. Vertigo Comics. It's on issue 2. This is issue 1 right here. Vertigo is doing a good book with Suiciders. It's in the future of Los Angeles where people are like just there to fight and they root for like it's like gladiator shit, but the thing is they're all enhanced, like they have like fighting suits, and you pretty much become like a hero and god to these people because you fucking kill people in the ring, and they have battle suits and stuff like that, and they're barely starting off with this introduction of this guy. In the second issue it's intense, but you get to find out about this guy. He's just like some macho guy who essentially, this main guy in the background is like one of the fallen fighting heroes, I guess. I'm gonna take it out. Let me show you guys. Look at that shit, man. Suiciders. Great artwork. Bermejo and Hollingsworth. Suiciders. I definitely recommend picking up Suiciders. Tooth and Claw. Image book. I forget. This was 48 pages, no ads. This is like wizards, magic, and animals that talk like people. In this crazy world where magic is running scarce, and all like the High Lords, and like it's like old times but with magic. It's like it reminds me of Lord of the Rings, but with like Harry Potter shit. And it's just crazy people trying to cast spells, and that what they're doing is this ritual that they supposedly, in their culture, that if they do this ritual it'll blast more magic and give magic, like replenish magic. And they kind of like they have to summon this god, which is like a human, and the human that gets pulled there is like, what the fuck am I doing here? And he's just pretty much like a god to them. He's like, hey, you're supposed to bring us more magic. And he's like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Image witches. What did they say? Who will you pledge? Witches is about this town that becomes self-aware. You don't know that until issue 5, but it starts off with like this girl seeing ghosts, and she can see him there like in the forest. and nobody believes her, and then she's going like crazy, and next thing you know, she's been pledged, and the whole thing at the end of the pages are like, uh, who would you pledge? And you just pretty much say like, who do you want to get rid of, and it fucking happens. And you're trying to figure out why she got pledged, and nobody believes her until it finally clicks with her dad, and they find out that everything's been like going on under his nose, and the whole town's in on it. Witches, pick it up. It's crazy, crazy artwork, like shit like this. Look at this, witches that I recommend. The Wicked and the Divide. Wicked and the Divine is a really good book about what happens if you would have got powers, but you only had 2 years to live, like God powers. And everybody has like their own edge. It's all based on religious stuff, but you get to follow Satan for the first couple books. Satan murders this person, but she says she didn't, and you get to watch it while it happens, and you get to see people just like go crazy, and you follow people that like they're like the new rock stars. Uh, Wicked and Divine, really good book. I think it's on issue 8 right now. You get to find out more about the powers and why they get them and who selected them, and it's really good. I recommend picking up Wicked and Divine. The book I'm gonna recommend is The Winter Soldier. This takes place right after the original Sin event. So he's the new man on the wall. This book is by Alan Cott and Marco Rudy. This book right here is freaking awesome. You get to follow him going through different time dimensions, and you get artwork that looks like this, dude. Trippy shit. Every time I pick up The Winter Soldier, I can't wait to see the artwork, because I know you're gonna get your money's worth every time, and the story is decent too. You get to follow with Bucky Barnes through time and stuff. Dude, look at this, man. Like, you can't look away from this. Can't look away from the Winter Soldier. The artwork alone is worth buying if you like that kind of trippy artwork. Because at first it was kind of like distracting. Like, I couldn't even read it because I was just like I would read a sentence and kind of like just drift away into like the artwork. The Winter Soldier, pick it up. Those are some of the books I would recommend, and the ones I always look forward to picking up every week. I have a long box right there with other stuff, a couple other books that I didn't pick up, but that was just some of it so you can understand what I've been reading, and that's what I would recommend to you guys if you want to start picking those books up. It's a good start, and so you can kind of understand like what I'm into. Looking at my comic books. See ya. Bye.